What are the 3 things that you need to do if you think that you'd like to start a self-serve dog wash business? I'm going to show you in this video. And the third thing is actually, I think, one thing that you may be forgetting. The first thing that you want to do when you have decided that I'd like to start a self-serve dog wash business is you need to decide, where are you going to place this self-serve dog wash? Generally, when you're looking at your life, you don't have a lot of time to potentially commute 4 and 5 hours to a dog wash that's going to be in some far-flung location. So the first thing that you want to do is that you want to find a location that is within 30 minutes of your house. It's easy drive time. You can get there if there's any sort of maintenance issue. And as you're looking for this location, there's a couple components that you want to make sure that you have present at the location. The first is going to be rent. The rent has got to be able to be met by the revenues that are coming from the machine. So sometimes people think, oh, it's a great location. It's right by the beach or the lake or the dog park. This is going to be fabulous. Well, if it's a super desirable location and everybody wants to be there, your rents are going to be sky high. So the location cannot solve for the fact that rents are sky high. You're going to have to do a lot of dog washes there. Okay, what does parking look like in that location? So think about, okay, I want to be close to the dog park or the dog beach or whatever this popular location is that has a lot of dogs. What is just outside of that radius that I would potentially drive to? So maybe you're not right in front of the dog park or you're not right next to the dog beach, but what does it look like if you're within a 10-minute radius of that? Because I can tell you that when I'm leaving the dog beach or the dog park, I'm probably Googling where is the closest self-serve dog wash, and I would drive 10 minutes to find you. What's going to happen is that once you increase that radius to just a little bit further outside of the desirable area, then potentially you're going to have some reduced rents, which is going to be helpful for you. The second thing with regards to location that you're going to want to figure out is, are you going to do indoors or outdoors? We're in San Diego, California. We have a climate that allows for us to have outdoor locations. We love it. Our customers love it here. But in other states where you're going to have weather that won't allow for that, then you're going to have to decide on your indoor locations. Is it a strip mall? Is it a standalone? What does the parking look like? Okay, because parking is going to be super essential. If I'm out with my dog, the weather's bad, I am not circling the block 5 times looking for parking to then come in. So do not underestimate the value of great parking in front of your location. That's something that we've prioritized in each of our 4 locations here in San Diego. Okay, the next thing with regards to location, so you want to make sure that you have the power that's necessary to, if you're going to put down 1 machine, 2 machine, 3 and 4, that you're able to grow in that location and that the power box has enough for that. I'll put more details about the power in the links below. The second thing that you want to make sure is that you have water, because these things do require some water, and then also sewer. So some retail locations that you're going to find, they don't have a bathroom on site. So how are you going to be able to tap into that? So as you're searching for your locations, just make sure that you have adequate power, electricity, and then also water coming into your space, and then also sewer, so that you're going to be able to have your gray water go out of the machines. The second thing that you need to consider when you're going to start this business is, what does your support network look like? Meaning, are you an individual that can work on these machines? Can you fix them if the blow dryer goes out? What about marketing? Is that something that you feel comfortable doing? How about turning on your camera and talking to it? Where are you at with that? Because some people are going to have to know that this is your business, right? So they're going to have to locate it, and that's going to be through some marketing. You're going to have to be able to either do Google advertising, Facebook ads, or if you're going to do very minimal, you at least have to come out and film some dogs and put up some videos about happy dogs at your location, right? Because people have to know that you're there. And then there's the operational side, cleaning the machines. Are you going to have other people do that? Is that something that you're going to do on your own? And then also repairing the machines. There's not a lot of maintenance on the machines, but I can tell you that if a blow dryer goes out, if you have to replace a pump, there's some things that do happen on the machines that you have to be slightly technical, Not huge, but there is that element of it. So is this something that you're able to do all on your own? Will you partner with someone, a spouse, a family member, a business partner? What does that look like? So in addition to the location, you also then want to take some time to think about, is this something that I'm going to do alone? Or do I need to partner with someone to help make this successful? Where are my strengths? And then where are the strengths that I actually need to be supplemented with somebody else? The third thing that you want to think about is actually going to be cash or access to capital. Many times people think, oh my gosh, I'm going to start a self-serve dog wash business. Let me run off and determine which machine am I going to buy. Am I going to get the Evolution? Am I going to get the iClean? Am I going to get the K9000 Puppered? That's what's going to drive it all. Okay, sure. But these are just boxes, right? That dispense water, shampoo, and then also blow dry and all the products that comes out of it. So if you actually reduce the machine, you're going to find, let's just assume that you're going to find a machine and that it works. It's going to come down to the location. Is it within 30 minutes of your house or that you can get to it quickly? How are you going to run it and maintain it and clean it? Is that you or you and somebody else? And the final thing is access to cash or capital. These machines, depending on which machine that you're going to buy, I would estimate that you're going to be about $40,000 to $50,000. I have more information in my guide on actual startup costs. But then you got to build out a place. You got to put in some floors. What do the floors look like when you find your place? Lighting. You're going to put in some sort of security system. How are you going to unlock and lock the doors? Then once you place your machines, you're all set up, you've got your signage, you're ready to go. Then you're going to wait for a little bit because your business has got to ramp up. And in that time period, you're going to have to pay rent. Okay, so what do your reserves look like? And I explain all that in my guide, but you're going to have a set aside of some sort of cash to allow yourself to set up this business, buy the machines, get your space prepared. And then as the ramp up happens, before you start seeing all these revenues come in, you may have to do some advertising. What are those costs? That's then where you're going to need some cash to be able to get this started. But the number one thing that you have to solve for is going to be location, location, location. Where is the location? How big is the location? How accessible is it to me? What does the parking look like around that location? And also, will they even accept a wet environment? There are many, many retail environments. They don't want dogs and they don't want dog grooming. In San Diego, actually, it's kind of like no dog grooming, cannabis, that sort of thing. So it's not like every location that you're going to find is also going to be like, yes, bring in wet dogs and dog machines and everything else. No. So start that search, numero uno, and go find a location and then determine as that's going, because you're going to be searching for that, then determine, am I doing this alone? Who am I doing this with? Where is that location going to be? And then finally, do I have access to cash? And I'm saying cash. Rhonda and I, we started this by putting these machines on zero interest credit cards. So do you just have access to some sort of ability to buy the machines and then be able to pay rent for a little bit? So those are the three things that I would focus on today if I were interested in starting a self-serve dog wash business. I also have my guide that has a ton more information, all the information that I wish we had when we started. If you have any questions or videos that you'd like me to do, put it in the comments below. Also like, subscribe, anything, you know what to do. It's YouTube, and I'll create more helpful videos so that you can start this business as well.